It wasn't initially in the plans today, but I'm going to attempt to change the windshield switch on my 2016 Indian Roadmaster. The dealer ran me through, the service manager at the dealership ran me through how to do it. And so if everything works out properly, this is going to be an instructional video on how to do it. Now, a lot of Roadmasters have the issue where the windshield stops going up and down, and there's really only two possible issues. There's no fuses or anything, so it's always either the motor or the switch. And I unplugged the motor and hooked power directly to it, and the motor worked, so therefore I determined it was a switch. And the switch on a 16 Roadmaster anyway, it's all one unit, so the radio controls and everything are the same switch. And so dealer told me that I'm going to need to remove the decorative chrome piece on the front of the fairing, and then the windshield, it is a 4mm Allen key right here and right here. And then you just pull back and lift it out. This part drops in. Okay, the headlight is held in by three 10mm bolts. You're gonna have to remove the clutch lever in order to get to the bolts back here. And since I don't want to try to have to figure out where this was again, I'm going to take a permanent marker and just make a small mark where the two pieces come together, so I know where it's at when I put it back together. The three bolts that hold this together are a T25. These three bolts right here are going to be T20, and then you're going to have to carefully cut this zip tie without damaging any wires so you can get this wire through the handlebar. So whenever you cut a zip tie on wires, never go in like this. Always make sure that the side of the clippers is against the wires so you don't accidentally cut any of the wires. Up front, you're going to have another zip tie you're going to have to cut right here. Same thing, make sure you don't cut any wires. There's a 19mm on both sides here, and you have to loosen both of those so that you can get to this zip tie right here. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you a trick that will save you lots of problems and swearing down the road. Before you pull the wire through the handlebar, you can take a large piece of long wire and some electrical tape, and you're going to tape it to the wire so that when you pull it out of the handlebars, the other wire feeds through. And then after that, you're going to unattach it from the old wire, and you're going to tape it to the new wire so you can pull it back through the other way. Otherwise, you are going to have so much problem getting the new wire through the handlebars. When you're pulling it and feeding the new wire through, be very careful that you don't skin it on this area. Because this area, if you're not careful, could skin the new wire, and then you're in the same problem. Make sure you put a new zip tie to hold the wires together, and then cut it off right about there before you put everything back together. There's a little slot right here for this wire to come out, make sure that it goes through the slot, otherwise you'll pinch it and damage the wire. Now you need to run this wire back over the top here where it goes, and don't forget to put another zip tie back here where we removed the other one. Okay, now I just gotta tuck it back in and then zip tie all this stuff back together again. Don't forget to plug that back in and make sure the wire comes out that little slot. Yeah, you got to make sure that the plug is on the inside. When you're putting the clutch back together, remember that it has this groove on it, so you can only put it together one way, and if you try to put it together wrong, you'll get frustrated because it's made to slide over this to make it fit in the right spot. So this hump fits right down in here. Well, that was a lot of work and about $86 plus tax, I think, just to make the windshield move 6 inches or 8 inches or however far it moves. I've never worked on an Indian before. I've never tried to do this project before, but it didn't take me that long, probably a couple hours. And if I can do it, you can do it. It's not that difficult. So yeah, hopefully this video helps you to, if you're having windshield problems with your Roadmaster, hopefully this helps. And if you like videos like this, I would appreciate it if you would click like and if you would subscribe. And my next weekend, or this coming weekend actually, I am going to be in Fort Worth, Texas for the Get On Moto Fest. And that's part of the reason why I decided I wanted to fix my windshield now, so that everything was ready on my bike.